Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is the last day of the March, which means is the last day of the month, which means is the last day of the first quarter of 2025. So without any further ado, let's just go to the economic calendar. During the Asian session, we got the data from Japan and China. Japan industrial production and retail sales beats the expectations. Australian indicator of business confidence is worse than the previous number, and private sector credit is in line with expectations of 0.5%. Chinese manufacturing PMI beats the expectations of 50.4 with the actual number of 50.5, and the previous number is as well weaker, 50.2. So actually manufacturing PMI, non-manufacturing PMI are better than expected. Good data from China. German retail sales at the level of 0.8%, increases second month in a row. We are still waiting for the data from Poland, CPI, and Italian CPI. During the London session, during the US session, we got the data from the Germany in form of the German CPI. This data is scheduled for release at 2 o'clock, and at 3:45 we got the data from the US Chicago PMI. So quite weak calendar for the London session. We need to wait a few hours for the German CPI, but this will be the biggest event of the Monday, the last day of the March, the last day of the first quarter 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. Euro dollar for our charts is moving. It's showing us that the euro dollar is actually trading higher. Just recently, we broke out from the above that trend line after the low at 1.0735 was made. We made a local high at 1.0850, just where the 100 periods moving average is, exactly on this 4-hour time frame chart, right? So right now it looks like we are building some sort of the pin bar candle, maybe some kind of a shooting star, maybe even doji. We will see. However, it looks like this. The momentum for the movement upside towards the 1.0850 looks really like evaporated or something like this, right? Because this momentum is quite strong, of course, which it's 58 points. It's positive, obviously, because bulls are in charge of the market. However, it looks like they need some kind of a pause, some kind of a pullback. The nearest level for a pullback would be 1.822, so we will mark it as the technical support. And let's just take a look how much did we actually retrace during this upward movement. So let me just attach this retrace, Fibonacci retrace series. We retraced 50%. So there you go. That's why we stopped here. 50% of the retracement of this swing to the downside. We went 50%. So in half, basically. The half is retraced. Now the next target eventually is 1.0871, which is 61% of the Fibonacci retracement. And this level is quite close to the technical resistance as well, but it's a weak technical resistance, so any breakout higher would likely indicate a potential run for the swing high 1.0855. So please keep an eye on the current situation of the euro dollar. Cable. Quite similar situation on cable. We got the breakout above the trend line, local high at 1.2991, and since then we got some sort of the consolidation, multiple tests of the trend line breakout, but you can see it clearly that there is some sort of the pressure, bearish pressure coming to the market, because there is a big shadow, upper shadow on this candle after the high was made. So right now we are just moving sideways, but the momentum remains positive, remains quite high, 60 points. So we should see another attempt to break above 1.2991 and then test 1.3014, which is the swing high, and eventually this is the high of the recent movement to the upside. So quite interesting situation on the cable. It looks like the bulls want to move higher and break above this, above the recent swing high. Crude oil. Crude oil on the 4-hour time frame chart was rejected from the supply zone. 70.20 was the highest level for the barrel of crude oil. Then we got the second attempt of the rally, but it failed, and we are back towards the technical support at 68.72. The momentum remains quite weak because it's on the level of 47 points only, so it's below the level of 50. Little bit of the negative sentiment came to the market just recently, and if we break below the level of 68.73 and eventually below the low of the March 25th, 68.52, then the next target would be moving average 67.86. This is a moving average on a 4-hour time frame chart, and then eventually local highs around 67, 61 level, as that they will act as the technical support, obviously. But the road to the upside is now closed, unfortunately, and without a sustained breakout above this supply zone, the outlook still remains bearish to sideways to bearish, something like that, because we need a breakout above this supply zone. Without this breakout, there is no return to the uptrend, to the potential uptrend, or maybe there is no chance for a bigger correction to the upside, right? So we need this. I mean, we means bulls, of course. Bulls need this breakout to the upside. Let's take a look at gold. What is gold doing? Well, the gold is on fire. At the end of the March 2021, at the end of the quarter as well, we have new all-time high on gold, $3,127 per ounce of gold, just as expected from our rudimental Elliott wave count. Let me just do the price prediction for the wave 5 of this movement to the upside on gold. And it looks like the first projected level might be somewhere around 3,143, but there is a projection around 3,228 as well. So those are two targets levels for the gold. Let me just take one more measurement. So what we do right now is we try to make a cluster, the Fibonacci cluster, the projection cluster. So we'll see how this one will go. And it looks like the level of 3,144.45 is a nice one right now as a target level for the wave 5. So please stay focused. Looks like we got the first very precise cluster for the target, the wave 5. Wave 3 is the longest wave, the most extended wave to the upside. So wave 5 should not be that long, especially if we consider the situation where we have the market actually testing the level of 80 on the RSI, which means it's extremely overbought already. So we should see some sort of the pullback after the new all-time high on gold is hit. And last but not least, let's take a look at the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin, on the other hand, is out of the channel, below the supply zone, below the trend line, again below 100 periods moving average, testing the extremely oversold market conditions around the level of 81,231. So again, this zone, our supply zone, worked perfectly. Market movement to the upside has been rejected and reversed to the downside. So the next target for the bulls, let me just make it a little bit more precise. We got this technical support, eventually 81,113. And the other one eventually is around the level of 79,904. So those two levels will act as the technical support levels. However, they are not very strong. They are just typical ones. The strongest one, as you can see, is here at 76,562. Right. So now we wait for the bears to eventually, let's say, speed up breakout to the downside and first test of extremely important demand zone located between 73,000, let's say 900 and 69,250. Very quite wide demand zone. So when we get there, you possibly should recognize that we will test a very specific zone here, the zone that was established during this market rally in 2024. That was the highest level in almost highest level in 2024. And when we hit this, the market was in a downtrend, sideways trend for about 8 months. And then we gathered the momentum and made a new all-time high in January 2025. So very, very important long-term technical support levels and demand zone is about to be tested, and you know the consequences if the long-term important technical support is violated. You know what's happened there. However, it looks quite strong for now, and it looks like the bulls are quite active when this zone is hit or it's tested. So let's wait and see what the market will do with this situation. For now, the breakout above the supply zone was rejected. It looks like we are going lower. Even on a daily time frame chart, we can see that the momentum is weak and negative, only 41 points. We can still went down. There is room to go to the downside. There's room towards the level of 30. There's room here towards the demand zone. Looks like the next wave on the Bitcoin would be down. The long-term trend on the Bitcoin remains up. That's everything for me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Take care and bye-bye.